Hello, my name is Rob Oden, and I'm 31 years old.
I'm Lindsay Oden. I'm 34, but I look 25 to 29.
I'm an IT security architect for Harris Corporation.
And I'm a full-time mom to an adorable 1-year-old who you'll meet later. And before that, I worked in environmental science and conservation.
We're also happen to be acrobats, which allows us to do simple little things like this. So thank you for watching our video, and we'd like to jump right into why we think y'all should consider us.
So we were very excited to move out of our 1-bedroom apartment that we've been living in for the past 7 years with our baby for a full year. So it got very crowded and overrun with baby things, and we were desperate for more space. So it was fun looking at all the possibilities of different houses in Florida, thinking of the possibilities of how we could work with the space. It did get overwhelming because of all the options, and we started thinking we wouldn't be able to find everything that we wanted in a house. And it got disappointing when houses would go off the market, or we saw them in person and they didn't match up with how good they looked online.
Well, there was also the issue that since I was interviewing for a position here in Melbourne, Florida, is that we had to take a couple trips. So a lot of the day-to-day was online. So we looked at about 100 possibly houses online, and then over 2 separate weekend trips flying down and tried to cram in as many houses. So
it was definitely harder with the baby.
Yes.
The logistics of getting her in and out of the car seat, and even looking on the computer is really hard with a 1-year-old who tries to bang the computer. But when we found the house that we actually bought, funny story is that it was by accident. We were on our way to a different open house, and we drove by this open house.
Yep.
Happened to walk in. It happened to be exactly what we were looking for. Got almost everything we wanted. And then we looked at it online, and the photos actually were terrible.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure if it was actually the same house.
And we had actually skipped it. We saw it online and skipped it because of how terrible the photos were.
Things we were looking for.
Yeah.
I actually have a very strange wish list.
Yeah.
Things like I actually didn't want a brand new house.
Which I wanted a brand new house. Either I wanted a brand new house, or I wanted a house that I could leave my mark.
And do a fixer-upper, which
Yes.
is another thing I didn't want. So 2 big disagreements. I also didn't want any carpet, which he was fine with carpet. But
Yeah.
brand new things and carpet are 2 things that are very toxic, which is a big deal for me. It's caused a lot of drama with us deciding about paint and furniture and everything that goes into a new house.
And a lot of areas of compromise. Some very long conversations about where we could find that middle of the road. So I could have that looked of quality and looked nice, but also met Lindsay's environmental concerns.
I also do feng shui. So I was looking for a nice flow and organization with where certain rooms were for that. I also happen to be a germaphobe. So coming down to things like the design of faucet heads, I'm going to be looking for either touchless,
Yeah.
so that germs don't get spread by hands, or special designs for that. We both wanted really big closets and storage space.
Yes, because again, coming from DC, we were in a less than 1,000 square foot apartment, which every square inch was used 2-3 times. So it was multiple uses. So something that we didn't have to worry about constantly buying something and then throwing something out because we just didn't have the space for it. So we didn't, especially with a growing family.
We also had a shared washer dryer with the whole building,
Yes.
which made it impossible to do laundry if I was alone with the baby.
So having that on kind of the same area and space, obviously in the building, obviously in the home, but having it to where it wasn't such an ordeal like either upstairs or down in the basement.
So we want it easily accessible.
Yes. I really wanted a pool. I was coming to Florida, whereas Lindsay didn't really, actually was kind of a drawback for her. She didn't want to do the maintenance because she grew up with a pool.
And it's dangerous for the baby, and I'd rather just have a yard space that is soft grass for her.
We both did want a larger yard, which unfortunately with this home,
It wasn't something we ended up getting.
Yeah.
It's a small yard and it has a beautiful pool.
Yeah.
but we would have preferred a larger yard, and that was actually, we almost didn't buy the house for that reason.
Yeah. I think that was the main issue from that one. But for me, it was really just having a space. I know a lot of people say they want an open space, but for me is I went my home and I was looking for a home that I could have events and parties, because I love meeting new people and having a community. So having a home that kind of flowed, where your dining room and your living room and your kitchen all kind of went in, and your outdoor space, if you could integrate that. So it's something I was really looking for, as well as this was a really big wish, which unfortunately we didn't get on this new home, is the hood for the kitchen. Lindsay is
stovetop vent.
Yeah, stovetop vent. Being able to suck this on. Lindsay cooks really great. The food that she has can leave a lingering odor, and so I was really hoping to be able to take that and shoot it outside. But
he also wanted to live on the water, like preferably a canal or a stream.
yes,
In Florida, there's a lot of little lakes and ponds, which I really didn't want to live on. I view them more as being swamps.
yeah,
So that's actually a drawback for me and a disagreement that we had. But architectural styles, we weren't dead set on any one, but we both have a lot that we don't like.
yeah. Well, it's actually funny because our architectural styles, it's, for us, again, coming from the area, we've lived in DC for the last 7+ years, you're very limited on your options. You either go cottage or...
There's a lot of row houses,
yeah,
like this,
and very
colonial.
unique styles. So it was more of what you don't want than what you do want. So this was kind of an interesting experience for that.
I liked the federal or the French provincial look. Surprisingly, I don't like anything hippie. I don't want a dome house. I don't want a cottage. I don't want a bungalow. I don't want a yurt. I don't like the A-frame or the ranch, which
I like it because I'm actually Southern. So having the front porch and the house that's really connected is a style that I really like. But something that's not really what she wants.
We both like the contemporary look,
Mhm.
like a Mediterranean, slightly Victorian. We actually do kind of like the model-looking homes, but we didn't want to live in a model home community because we don't want it to be a cookie cutter and everybody look the same. We did disagree on the open and closed floor plan a little bit,
Yeah.
because I see the value of being able to close doors for the baby and have guest space,
Yes.
which is really important to us.
So she wanted a home that she could divide more, and I wanted a home that I could have a little bit more flexibility on what I did with individual rooms and spaces. And this is something, I think even in our new home, with the living arrangements all being on the exteriors, I think it's possibly a good compromise from some of the homes we were looking at.
For a dream home, we were both wanting something that made you say, wow.
Yes.
Not like, oh, that's cute, or...
We joked about it is if we posted a picture of our home, the Facebook, millennials, if you will, that our friends would be like, oh my God, I can't wait to come and visit you. We'd be really excited about it. And there was a few homes when we were looking at that we thought had that Facebook-ish scene, but once we got and looked inside of it, somewhat disappointing. But yeah, the dream home would have those amenities that we had mentioned before.
Open and inviting. We wanted the kitchen to look into the living room.
Yes.
High ceilings so we can do acrobatics.
Yes. Which was actually kind of rare to have that space, but it was something that we were really considering. I think
we didn't want anything look too futuristic or too modern. Don't
Yeah.
like Art Deco. We were looking for a good school district was important, so
Yes.
that limited a lot of options.
Yeah, it really kind of pointed us to just a few areas. Even though the school districts here on the Space Coast are actually really great in Brevard County. We were considering about the flexible room. Again, both of us have parents who have limited mobility with knees and back issues. So having multiple levels, stairs was something that, having as much stuff on one floor was something we were looking for.
Very important consideration.
And then having flexible space, because we do have a growing family, and with not knowing if one of our parents were going to come live with us or not, but having that flexibility think was really
Yeah,
important.
so like a room that could be an office or a baby room or a guest room.
Yes. Now, which one of those? I think we're still coming to the point of who can use which space. For me, having an ability to cordon off a piece of for my parents, for a little space I can hide away from, but also for Lindsay as well. She likes to get away herself. So I think that's having that flexibility was really important to us.
And the baby room was a big consideration because we don't want to have the baby room to be on a different floor of the house than us.
Also for Lindsay, going back to the feng shui, she had very particular ideas of which rooms needed to be in which areas and how that fed, so.
And I actually also have bad knees myself. I have a gigantic baby. She's twice as big as she's supposed to be. So I don't want to be carrying this butterball up and down the stairs all day.
So, deal breakers. You know, what's funny, we were flexible, but there was some stuff. If it was a lot of stairs, I think that was just
It wasn't practical.
Mhm.
I think sometimes we get caught up in the moment and think this is a great huge house. We got tempted by some big houses that were split level, but I think in reality we would have ended up unhappy.
I think for me, not having a full bath on the main floor. I was fine with some rooms being up there, and I wanted at least one bedroom downstairs and a full bath. So if
For the elderly parents.
For the elderly parents, and you know, and also another consideration is if all the rooms are upstairs,
we would end up wasting the space. And these are all problems that we ran into a lot when we were looking at houses. We actually did not find any that were all on the same level.
Yep. And no, we didn't want to be touching other people's homes or be able to reach out of our window and touch. So if there was just a sliver, we didn't want that. It was just no
duplexes, no townhouses,
and no communities that basically your foundation is you can reach, which we saw that as well. And I think a real big is we didn't want unique features.
We didn't want super quirky features, so one house we came across had a hot tub in the living room. As soon as you walked in the house, into the living room, there was a giant hot tub. That our realtor was like, look how exciting this is! And we said,
no.
Thanks but no thanks.
We're like, no, because all this screamed is unique maintenance, and it was very 70-ish, and we just kind of felt like it would have cost more money to take out than anything that valued. So those kind of stuff we looked at. And again, going down to Lindsay's deal breaker, if it looked like it needed more than just superficial work, she was done.
The story is I grew up with a stepdad who was a contractor, carpenter, and my house was under construction for 18 years, the entire 18 years that I lived there. It had serious construction, like walls, ceilings, floors missing. We didn't have a kitchen for 2 years. There was flooding. There was rats. I mean, it was not pretty, and I do not want to go through that again. I want a house that we can just move into.
Yep. Hopefully you will find this interesting and will be interested in coming down for capturing our experience. And again, we have
a little one.
Our little one will also be joining us.
1-year-old Kaya.
Hi, little Kaya. You want to say
hi?
Hi. Thank you all for considering us, and we look forward to hearing from y'all. Bye.
Hi. So Kaya's going to help me show you our kitchen, which is 4 times the size of our little tiny one that we had in DC. It was very hard to cook for a little one in. And it has a washer dryer, which we did not have, and a dishwasher, which we did not have, which was terrible. This is our bedroom, which has a king-size bed that we have decided to also have at our new house. This is a change from a smaller bed we had in DC. And it also has a walk-in closet that we've never had before, although we mostly use it to put our little one to sleep because she likes dark, quiet spaces.
Hi. So this is our 3-bedroom, 2-bath temporary apartment that we're living in. Right now we're in kind of the common space, joint dining room, and living family area that has been kind of converted into the little one's play area, as well as a beautiful view of supposedly sunny Florida, but keeps hitting the rains, as well as our own little custom baby gate that we wanted to make sure we were being safe, but also wasn't terrible.